Welcome to the official podcast series by Potenza, where innovation meets insight. In this series, we dive deep into the world of SAP, explore the power of robotic process automation, and unlock the true potential of data analytics. Whether you're a tech enthusiast, a business leader, or just curious about the digital transformation shaping our world, you're in the right place. Tune in, stay curious, and let's explore the future of enterprise technology together. Don't forget to subscribe and follow us on YouTube for more powerful insights. Now, let's get into today's episode.
Welcome back to the Deep Dive. We're here to really cut through the noise on complex topics for you. And today, our mission is to get straight to the heart of a challenge that's, well, critical for almost any organization trying to make sense of their data. It's about mastering your master data. Sounds pretty basic, right? But actually getting it right, surprisingly tough. So today we're diving deep into master data management MDM and specifically the really big hurdles that trip companies up. We're not just listing problems though. We want to understand why these things derail projects and crucially, how successful organizations actually navigate them.
That's exactly right. And the numbers back it up. Our research shows, over 70% of MDM projects hit some serious obstacles. So this deep dive, it's about getting past the surface level. We'll look at the roadblocks, sure, but also the proven ways to get around them. We want to give you that practical understanding what MDM is, why it's so challenging, and how you can avoid those common traps. Because, look, when companies nail MDM, the results are significant. We're talking potentially a 50% jump in operational efficiency and maybe a 25% improvement in data quality. That's not just abstract stuff. It hits the bottom line, improves decisions.
Okay, let's unpack that phrase then. Master data management challenges. What exactly are we talking about? Well, basically, they're the obstacles, technical, organizational, even strategic, that pop up when you try to set up, run, or improve an MDM system.
Yeah.
And master data itself. That's your core business information, right? The non-transactional stuff like customer records, product lists, supplier details, maybe employee data. It's that golden record you need everywhere. Consistent, accurate.
Exactly. And these challenges are, well, they're everywhere. The data landscape today is just incredibly complex. I mean, think about this. 70% of organizations say they struggle with data silos, just disconnected pools of information. That massively impacts MDM. And even more telling maybe is that 91%, huge number, report that master data quality problems directly hurt their business operations. So yeah, it highlights just how widespread this is. Understanding these specific challenges is really that critical first step.
Right. So now we've set the scene. Let's get stuck into the 7 big ones, the most significant MDM problems companies face today. We'll go through each, look at the details, and importantly, talk about solutions. First up, and our sources consistently flag this as maybe the biggest one, data quality and accuracy issues.
Yeah.
Just imagine trying to run things when customer service has an old address, sales has the name spelled wrong, and finance has another slightly different billing detail. That kind of mess isn't just annoying. It creates discrepancies across the board. Financial reports get skewed, customers get frustrated. It's chaos.
Oh, the ripple effect is massive. Absolutely. Our data shows 77% of organizations say data accuracy problems directly hit critical business outcomes. And it's often simple things, too, like manual data entry errors. They account for something like 23% of data quality issues. And inconsistent formats between systems. That creates huge integration bottlenecks down the line. But the really stark figure, poor data quality, it's estimated, costs companies an average of $12.9 million a year.
Wow. $12.9 million.
Yeah. And the root causes, often pretty fundamental stuff. Lack of standard procedures for entering data, not enough validation checks, duplicate records all over the place, and just, poor cleansing processes. Bad data just lingers. So what actually works? What's a practical step? We've seen real success with implementing a comprehensive data quality framework. Now, this isn't just buying a tool. It's multi-layered. You need automated validation rules, catching errors right when they happen. You need real-time monitoring dashboards so you can actually see the health of your data, and regular audits. Keep checking. Keep ensuring compliance. We've seen clients cut their MDM implementation time by 40% with this. And user adoption, 85% higher. The real key, I think, isn't just the automation. It's creating that continuous feedback loop, empowering people to fix data at the source. It saves so much firefighting later.
Okay, so if bad data is headache number 1, what's often tangled up with it, maybe even more frustrating for the tech teams, that would be complex data integration problems, right? Yep. Trying to link everything up. You've got your CRM, your ERP, maybe some old legacy finance system. all speaking different languages, different formats, different rules. It's like trying to conduct an orchestra where everyone's got different sheet music in different keys. And some players have instruments from another century.
Exactly. It's a perfect analogy. The technical hurdles are just huge. You've got legacy systems needing custom connectors because, well, they weren't built for today's world. Then there are API limits. Imagine trying to sync customer data quickly, but you can only pull 100 records an hour. For a big company, that's basically gridlock.
Right, just stops things.
It does. And it prevents real-time insights. Then you have those format inconsistencies we mentioned, and the classic battle between real-time needs versus batch processing. The impact on resources is enormous. Integration failures. They can eat up 30, even 60% of the total MDM implementation cost. They can push timelines out by 6 to 12 months, easily. And you build up all this technical debt from temporary fixes. The solution really lies in planning, a solid integration strategy using flexible middleware, standardized patterns.
You know, it strikes me we can build the most elegant system, perfect data, seamless integration, but if people don't actually use it, it's all pointless. Which brings us to maybe the toughest one, user adoption and change management, the human side. Critical.
Absolutely critical. And the stats here are pretty sobering, too. 60% of MDM projects face significant user resistance, just pushback. And getting it right takes effort. Successful rollouts often need 40-plus hours of good training per user. And full adoption, where people are really comfortable and proficient, that can take anywhere from 6 months to, well, 18 months sometimes.
18 months, wow.
Yeah. And change management issues, just handling the people side poorly, cause 35% of projects to blow their budgets. What's behind the resistance? Often it's fear. Fear of jobs changing. Fear of more work during the transition. Sometimes it's just not understanding the benefits or, sadly, just not enough training or support. I remember one place the sales team kept their own secret spreadsheet of contacts.
Oh, no.
Because they didn't trust the official system. That's the kind of resistance you face. It's built on a lack of trust, and it's hard work to fix. So how do you tackle it? You need a strategic change management approach. It's about having a real program. That means mapping stakeholders, who's affected, how. Clear communication plans, talking to people, not at them, addressing their specific worries. And phased rollouts. Don't do a big bang, let people adjust. Our approach focuses heavily on getting users involved early. Pilot programs, hands-on training with real data they recognize, and building networks of data champions inside departments, people who get it, who can advocate for it. That turns resistance into collaboration, hopefully.
Okay, challenge 4. Compliance and governance hurdles. This sounds like adding another layer of complexity, doesn't it? Balancing efficiency with really strict rules.
It definitely does. You're suddenly navigating this alphabet soup of regulations. GDPR in Europe for personal data, IPA for healthcare patient info in the US, SOX for financial reporting, PCI DSS for payment cards, FERPA for education records. The list goes on.
Right, lots to keep track of.
And the governance challenges themselves are tough. Over half, 54% of organizations don't have comprehensive data governance policies written down. Often it's unclear who actually owns the data, who's responsible for its quality, the stewardship roles. Then there are audit trail requirements. You have to log everything, which can actually slow down system performance sometimes. And for global companies, cross-border data transfer rules add yet another headache. A key thing here is sorting out that ownership and stewardship before you start building. Bake compliance in from day one. Don't try to bolt it on later.
Makes sense. Okay, next up, a very practical one. Resource allocation and budget constraints. Just the realities of money and people. You mentioned companies often underestimate the cost.
They really do. The initial build, the implementation. That can run anywhere from, say, $500,000 to upwards of $5 million. Depends hugely on the scope, complexity, and critically, it's not a one-off cost. Ongoing maintenance, budget for 15 to 25% of that initial cost every year.
Every year, okay.
Plus, there are hidden costs, training people properly, potential downtime during upgrades, and all that change management effort we just talked about, that costs time and money too. Getting a return on that investment, the ROI typically takes 18 to 24 months after you go live to really see it pay off. And people-wise, you need a dedicated team, not just techies, but business analysts who understand the processes and those crucial change management pros for the human side. Cross-functional is key, the strategic takeaway. Budget for the whole life cycle, not just the shiny new system build.
Got it. All right, number 6 takes us back to the tech side. Technology integration complexity. This is specifically about making the MDM platform play nicely with everything else you already have, your architecture.
Yep. This involves some big technical decisions like cloud versus on-premises. Each has pros and cons. How scalable does it need to be? Data volumes just keep growing. Security protocols, access controls, absolutely vital. And, really importantly, How does it connect with your existing BI and analytics tools? An MDM system shouldn't just sit there holding data, it needs to feed insights. A core part of the solution here is choosing a platform that fits your existing tech stack reasonably well. Look for open standards, flexible APIs. Avoid getting locked into proprietary systems if you can.
Okay. And our final challenge, number 7. You mentioned this one is often overlooked, maybe because it feels less tangible. Organizational resistance and cultural change. This isn't just software. It shifts how the whole organization thinks about data, right? From my department's data to our shared data.
Exactly. It's a fundamental shift. And the cultural barriers are real. You see departmental data hoarding. This is our customer list. A general lack of data literacy sometimes, people just not understanding why accurate data matters to them. Insufficient executive sponsorship is a big one. If the leaders aren't visibly backing it, why should anyone else care? And just competing priorities. Other projects demanding time and money, it really requires a change in mindset across the board. So tackling that deep-seated cultural stuff, you need a proper cultural transformation strategy. That means things like executive-sponsored data literacy programs, help everyone understand the why, initiatives that force cross-departmental collaboration around data, break down those silos actively, clear, constant communication about the benefits not just for the company, but for individuals and teams too. What's in it for them? And establishing data governance councils is crucial. Get representatives from all business units involved. Give them a voice, make them accountable. Our experience, and the data backs this up, shows companies with strong, visible executive sponsorship are 3 times more likely to get their MDM done successfully, on time, and on budget.
3 times more likely. That's huge.
It really underscores that the people part is just as vital, maybe even more so, than the tech itself.
Okay, so we've laid out the big challenges. It sounds daunting. But let's shift gears to the good news. Proven solutions for overcoming master data management challenges. The key message seems to be it takes a holistic approach, right? Tech, process, and people, all working together. No silver bullet.
Exactly. It's a strategic blend. Our sources point to 3 key areas that cover pretty much everything we've discussed. First, strategic planning and assessment. This is your homework, basically, before you even pick a tool. Do a thorough data audit. What state is your data in now? Analyze your stakeholders, who needs what, who's impacted. Review your technical architecture. Design your governance framework up front. Success factors here. Getting that strong executive backing early. Building cross-functional teams. Planning a phased rollout, not a big bang. And monitoring progress continuously. Second, technology solution selection. Choosing the right platform. You need to evaluate based on things like, how well does it integrate? Is it scalable? Is the interface user-friendly enough? What's the vendor support like? Best practices during implementation. Definitely run a pilot program first. Test the waters on a smaller scale. Use iterative development build, get feedback, adjust, repeat, test comprehensively, and do a staged rollout with plenty of support and training. And third, the one we keep coming back to, organizational change management, the people stuff. That means clear communication plans, addressing concerns, highlighting benefits, training that's specific to different roles. What does the sales team need versus finance? Building those data champion networks for peer support, and recognizing and rewarding successful adoption helps reinforce the right behaviors.
Okay, this is great. For listeners thinking, right, I need to tackle this. You mentioned a roadmap. Can we walk through that, a step-by-step guide on how to overcome MDM challenges, something actionable?
Absolutely. A systematic approach really helps manage the complexity. We usually break it down into 3 main phases. Phase 1 is foundation and planning. This is typically the first 1 to 3 months. It involves that strategic assessment. Figure out your data maturity, define clear business goals for MDM, identify all your stakeholders, and lay out a detailed project roadmap. At the same time, you're doing technical prep. Review your data architecture, evaluate different MDM platforms, design how integration will work, and crucially, baseline your current data quality so you can actually measure improvement later.
Okay, months 1 to 3. Planning, assessing, baselining. What's next?
Phase 2. Implementation and integration. This is the main build phase, usually months 4 through 12, could be longer depending on complexity. Here, you're deploying the system, configuring the platform itself, developing and testing all the integrations with other systems, implementing those data quality rules we talked about, creating the user interfaces. And alongside that is data migration, which is much more than just moving data. It's cleansing it, standardizing it, validating it, setting up ongoing synchronization so it stays clean, monitoring constantly.
The heavy lifting happens there.
Yeah.
Then what?
Then phase 3, adoption and optimization. This often runs from month 13 to 18, maybe beyond. The focus shifts. It's about user enablement, providing that comprehensive role-specific training, offering ongoing support, Monitoring adoption rates. Are people actually using it? How? Celebrating the early adopters helps build momentum. And it's also about continuous improvement, regularly assessing data quality, optimizing processes based on user feedback, maybe expanding MDM to new data areas like suppliers if you started with customers, and eventually leveraging that clean master data for more advanced analytics. That's where the real strategic value often comes in.
That makes sense. A core progression.
Sure.
Okay, let's do some quick fire questions, things listeners might be wondering right now. First off, boiling it down, what are the most common MDM challenges you see again and again?
Top of the list, definitely data quality, remember that 91% figure. Then complex system integration, user adoption resistance, compliance and governance hurdles, resource constraints, both budget and people, and that underlying organizational culture change. Those are the big ones.
And if someone's thinking about starting this journey, realistically, how long until they see tangible results?
Well, for operational stability, getting things running smoothly, you're probably looking at 12 to 18 months. But to really get the full strategic value, the ROI, that often takes longer, maybe 24 to 36 months. It's a marathon, not a sprint.
Okay. And the cost? What's a typical ballpark figure?
Huge range, obviously, but initial implementation could be $500,000, could be over $5 million for large, complex projects. And don't forget that ongoing maintenance budget, 15% to 25% of that initial cost annually.
Right. How do you actually know if you're succeeding beyond just switching the system on? What are the metrics?
Good question. You need to measure. Look for quantifiable improvements in data quality metrics. Track user adoption rates, assess how well the system integrates, demonstrate compliance achievements, measure operational efficiency gains, are processes faster, cheaper, and ultimately calculate the return on investment.
And that executive sponsorship piece, just how vital is it, really?
Oh, it's absolutely critical, non-negotiable, almost. We see it time and again. Projects with strong, visible executive backing are 3 times more likely to succeed on time and within budget. It signals commitment from the top down. And maybe one last point here, these challenges, they don't look exactly the same everywhere. They definitely vary by industry.
Ah, good point. How so?
Well, take healthcare and life sciences. Their big MDM headaches often revolve around uniquely identifying patients across different hospitals or clinics, standardizing clinical data so systems can actually talk to each other, managing complex master data for drugs and medical devices is huge, and ensuring provider data for credentialing is accurate. HIPAA compliance is woven through all of that. Then you look at financial services. For them, a huge driver is getting that 360-degree view of the customer for service, for risk, for compliance like KYC, know your customer. Aggregating risk data accurately for regulators is massive. Managing complex product and pricing data. Ensuring counterparty and reference data is spot on. SOX compliance is a big factor too. And one more, maybe manufacturing and supply chain. They grapple with managing product data through its entire life cycle, including engineering changes, qualifying suppliers and tracking their performance accurately, managing detailed specifications for materials and components, and dealing with complex global trade data and compliance rules. Different pressures, different data priorities.
That's really helpful context. Okay, so wrapping this up, what does this all mean for you listening right now? Master data management challenges. Yes, they're significant. We haven't sugarcoated that. But the key takeaway is they are absolutely manageable. It takes the right approach, strategic, holistic. It's definitely not an easy path, but the payoff, it's substantial. We're talking real, measurable benefits. Improving operational efficiency, maybe by 50%, boosting data quality by 25%, and ultimately gaining a serious competitive edge because you can make better, faster, more reliable decisions. It's about creating clarity from what might be data chaos right now.
I think that's exactly it. And it's so important to remember, MDM isn't just a tech project you hand off to IT. It is fundamentally an organizational transformation. It changes how people work, how they think about data, understanding these challenges we've discussed, really understanding them, and then adopting those holistic strategies, combining the tech, the process improvements, and crucially, the focus on people that is absolutely the key to making it stick, to achieving sustainable success.
So as we finish up, here's something to think about. Considering everything we've covered today, what hidden data silos or maybe lurking data quality issues might exist right now in your organization? And perhaps more intriguingly, how could tackling those unlock some unforeseen value or spark innovation you haven't even considered yet?
That's a wrap for today's episode of the POTENZA podcast series, where we decode SAP, automate with RPA, and analyze with precision. We hope you found today's conversation insightful and inspiring. If you enjoyed the episode, make sure to like, share, and subscribe to our YouTube channel, and stay tuned for more deep dives into the technologies transforming tomorrow's enterprise. Got questions or ideas for a future episode? Drop them in the comments, we'd love to hear from you. Until next time. Thank you.